Welcome to the special show of News Karnataka, Womenia, the Woman of Impact. Hi, this is Ananya Hegde. Today, we have with us a super cool mom, a multi-talented personality, an MC, Mrs. Prithvi Kamath. Welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ananya, for having me over.
Now let's have a VT of Mrs. Prithvi Kamath. Mrs. Prithvi Ganesh Kamath is an entrepreneur, an MC, an artist, a social worker, a mindfulness and NLP therapist, and a model. She is hailing from the city of Mangalore with the Mumbai as native. She is a postgraduate from Sikkim Manipal University, an ex-bank and insurance industry employee. Currently, she is a proprietor of Dream Catchers events who has organized Mangaluru's Got Talent Season 1 and 2. She has hosted more than 500 shows and a trustee of Sahai Trust, an NGO which helps in the underprivileged families and individuals at the pan-India level. She is an active member of Sangeet Bahar Karaoke Club. She has also trained over 1,000 students in art. She was in the top 6 of Mrs. Mangalore 2018 beauty pageant. Prithvi has directed and led in the concept photo shoot of Yanna Kodla depicting the speciality of Mangalore. To start off with, ma'am, I just want to know about your childhood. So how was it? How memorable it was?
So basically our childhood, as you know, was like a gadget-free kind of a thing. So I feel each day that we've lived during those days was a memory for us when we count on them right now. So may it be, going on a walk, getting up early in the morning, maybe around like say 3:34 and going on a walk with my sister and my mom. Those have been my memories that I've always cherished with, because you don't get to live those memories right now. So my day started with the raw egg yolks.
Okay.
Yes, we used to gulp them and we used to go on a jog and cycling and then a little of badminton and head up back home by 7:30 and then the school and all that. I mean, the rest of the routine used to go on.
Right.
One was that, and then maybe walking back home, and it's basically to and fro from home to school and school to home with the friend circle. Right. So I think those are the things which I miss the most.
Exactly, very interesting. Ma'am, how was Prithvi as a student?
Prithvi as a student has been very naughty, very talkative, and I think my teachers, my lecturers, including the headmistress, have always tried to make sure that they somehow calm me down when it came to all this, but I successfully distracted the entire class each time.
Okay.
So I think somewhere down the line, even if I go back to them right now, they always recognize me well as Prithvi Pandit, because I think I've been that notorious during my school and college
Pandit
days.
in all the things.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Ma'am, so interesting student life it was. So I also want to know about your career life. So you were into 9 to 5 kind of a job, right? You were an ex-banker. So what exactly made you to get into the business, ma'am?
So I think for every one of us, it's more about job satisfaction always. I've been into banking and insurance industry for around 12 years in Mumbai and 2+ years in Mangalore.
Okay.
But somewhere down the line, it's not about minting money always. It's more about the satisfaction, End of the day, when you're back home, you need to be happy about what you're doing.
Absolutely.
So I feel somewhere down the line, that thing was actually affecting me, that maybe this is not meant for me.
Okay.
I am a kind of person who believes in exploring things. So you know how bank job is. It's
Correct.
in between, like within the 4 walls, and no much to explore and all that. So there was a time when I just realized that maybe this is the end, I need to head out of it. But like always, I think there was a confusion period of what to do next. So event was never in my thought as such. But 2018, Mrs. Mangalore happened, and there's always a signal that I believe in that comes from there, you know. So I think that was an eye opener for me.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, fine. This is my door, and I just need to enter and follow the path. So that's what I did, and that's how the event industry happened.
That's so great. Prithvi, it's been almost 5 years that the Dreamcatchers events is into existence. So what exactly this do?
So Dreamcatchers events is basically into, you know, our tagline is your dream is our destination.
Okay.
So the tagline itself says that whatever you dream about your celebrations, we try to give it to you in a perfect way. Or maybe I would say that, you know, I always believe that whatever event we take up, I know the client, I mean, we take up around hundreds to thousands of events throughout the year or something like that. But when it comes to the clients, it's just that one celebration of theirs,
Correct.
you know. So it's our duty and responsibility to make it more memorable for them. So I always consider each of my event as my own. I think that's where somewhere we have succeeded, you know, in giving that in a perfect way to the client. Apart from this, we handle the wedding events, the birthday party events, and any kind of gatherings. As per the client requirement. Apart from this, I am into a lot of extracurricular activities. So I always feel that the city and in and around Mangalore city needs a platform where people can get that opportunity to showcase their talent. So I came up with Mangalore's Got Talent in 2019. That was season 1, which we had it in Forum Fiza Mall, and we had a great response then. And then, you know, there was this pandemic, 2 years of break. So recently, maybe around a couple of days back, we were done with season 2. We are done with season 2, and again it had a huge response. So just trying to take it one level up each time. Besides Mangalore's Got Talent, I have organized Artistry, the talent and competition, especially for the women, so that, you know, they are comfortable on the platform and they can showcase their talents. So there are a lot of such events which I have handled on a personal note as well.
That's very nice of you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Ma'am, now that you have a lot of experience in this event industry with different kinds of shows, so what do you think is that one thing or a few things which is really important in this industry?
If I'm talking about the event industry, I think patience is something which is utmost priority, because from the initial stage of you know, talking to the client and understanding their requirements, from the planning till the execution part, there are a lot of elements which goes into every event that we handle. So I feel patience is something that you need to have every time and every minute, because you cannot expect similar kind of people, you know, you cannot expect a similar kind of response. So we meet a lot of people with different kind of nature, so each time the response is different. So we need to be with a lot of patience. That is one thing. Second very important thing that I feel in event industry is the team efforts. So maybe the vendors, maybe the MCs, or maybe the sound team, even the crew members for that matter. It's all about the team coordination, team efforts, which makes the event successful.
Absolutely, yeah. Ma'am, could you please tell us what exactly or how did you face the clients when there were some critics, or how did you handle the ups and downs in your business?
See, as per my experience, it's always a process. Even the lifeline has ups and downs. So we always need to take it positively, in a positive way. And I always believe that there's a sunrise after every sunset. So coming to the critics part, I have, on a personal note, I don't know, not on a professional note I would say, but on a personal note, there are certain, there's one set of people who always, you know, look up to me as an inspiration or as a motivation, and I receive a lot of love and blessings from them, a lot of appreciation from them. Then there's one more set of people who are judgmental about the outer experience, you know. I receive a couple of comments saying that she's 41 and look at the way she dresses up. So I think this is something which most of us go through, you know. They think that probably they assume that I'm an extrovert looking at my outer experience, and I'm a little shy personality. I don't mix up much unless I don't open up much unless I'm comfortable with that person. So that's always taken with a wrong assumption that she has a lot of attitude, she carries a lot of attitude, she's got a lot of arrogance. So I feel these are some critics that I often go through, but end of the day I just laugh out and I say, I mean, ask me if you want to know something about me, rather than being judgmental. But yes, end of the day, it's a learning experience. Everything is a learning experience. I feel appreciation is something which often people take in a positive way.
True.
And but for me, it's more of, if I get a criticism, I take it in a much positive way, because that makes me understand how much more improvement I require, you know, in a personal and a professional life.
Correct, absolutely, ma'am. You gave us a very great lesson, I can say. Yeah. Ma'am, as you are an ex-banker, so you wanted to land upon one of the businesses, right? So when there were a lot of businesses around, why event industry was that one industry that you landed on?
Basically, when my daughter Ashka was 1 year old, and both of us were working parents then, so we had hired an event team, basically, you know, to organize her birthday, and this was in Mumbai. And on the day of the event, just before maybe half an hour or 1 hour, the event people weren't receiving the calls, and there was a lot of up and down that we saw in that half an hour. You know how parents are, you know, when it comes to the first birthday party or any of the celebrations, we are with a lot of hopes that this should be a memorable one and all that. But we have gone through that phase where there was a lot of chaos which was created, and that is when I realized maybe I should not be dependent on a third party, you know. So why not we do it by ourselves? So from second year onwards till today, it's me who organizes a birthday, me and my husband, in fact.
That's nice.
So I think that process of mine somewhere fascinated me, that you know, there's a lot in this particular field to do. You get a chance to explore and show your creative mind, and that piled up basically. There was no plan as such of getting into event industry, but somewhere down the line when I quit the banking job, I think I'm a freelance artist too. So I was a little confused about being a full-time artist or you know, getting into an event industry. But like I said, Mrs. Mangalore was an eye-opener, of course. But this was in my subconscious mind, so I think that was the right time to execute it.
Very nice. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Ma'am, I know that event industry is kind of hectic. There's a lot of teamwork needed. There's a lot of, you have to be on the field and make some things, or the stages ready, or MC scripts ready, a lot of things. So I just want to know, how do you manage your family life versus your business life?
I think I've been quite lucky in those terms to have a very supportive husband and a supportive daughter. We always, all three are in different directions, you know, and like, you know, being a professional MC and being into event industry at the same time, I mean, my husband also is into sports industry. He's the president of Masters Games Association, and right now as the joint secretary of DKDB Association. So he's completely into sports. So our weekends are much more busier compared to our weekdays. So unlike other families where, you know, the families get to spend the weekends, we don't get to do that. So there's a phrase that the family that eats together stays together. So I think that's how we end up eating together. We don't skip our dinner meals, you know, sitting together and spending time, and even that 15 minutes or like 5 minutes of that conversation makes it healthier for us. So somehow three of us have successfully balanced it well.
Right. That's so nice, ma'am. Prithvi, can you please tell about what is that one thing that you want to contribute to the society?
We have been into a trust, that's NGO basically, named as Sahai. We were into social service even when we were in Mumbai. That this was way back in, you know, 2000 up till 2012. But then we wanted to do something of our own. So when we got back to Mangalore, when we moved back to Mangalore, we came up with our own NGO named Sahai Trust. So the contacts who are associated with us since long, they know about it, but we always preferred keeping it you know, low profiled. So we've not published it somewhere. Initially, yes, I had taken it up on Facebook because you know how the fundraising happens. But then ultimately I just felt that, you know, we've never gone out asking for donations any time, and we always kept it low profile within our contacts. So the basic motto of Sahai is to support the individual families, underprivileged individuals and families without any caste and religion barrier. This was the main motto. We have supported a lot of families and individual in terms of monetary or maybe medicinal support, educational support. We have raised funds for there was a case, our first case, where the child was just 4 months old and he had a hole in the heart. So we have raised fund for those kind of cases also, for liver implantation or maybe like many of the HIV cases. So yeah, this is how, but successfully we have done it well throughout, keeping it low profile. So I think that's how we would like to keep it, go ahead also with the same thing. I think that's been a contribution from our side to the society, but otherwise as an individual, I've always been there for my friends, for my contacts, whenever they've approached me personally. So I've been doing it in bits and pieces.
That's so good of you, and congratulations. You are doing a very great cause, ma'am. Yes, yes, definitely. Prithvi, now that we had a very serious conversation, so we'll have a rapid fire right now. So are you ready?
I am ready. Will I get a hamper here?
Definitely, if you answer well.
Sure, I'll definitely try for this.
Yes, yes. So your first question is, what makes you laugh always?
My daughter, anytime. She's been a huge stress buster of mine. So I think she's like a comedian in my life all the time.
Okay. What is that one childish thing you still enjoy doing?
Oh, okay. There are a lot of things. Like I said, I have been a naughty child always. But yeah, somewhere down the line, you know, when you cross that age, you tend to become a little more serious and all that. But yes, if there's nobody around me, I just live by myself the way I was during my childhood. So that's how it's been. I have this certain thing that I do when I drive. I just put the music on and I just, you know, sing the songs loudly, which makes me feel nice. And I do pranks most of the time, even now. Yes, yeah, that's one thing which I have.
One prank that you can share?
Me and my daughter, we often do it when we commute towards the roadside, not within the city, of course, but wherever we go on a long, you know, travel or something like that, we often tend to put the windows down and scream out probably. Yeah, something as such. I mean, there are a lot of ways, but that's something which I've never stopped doing.
Oh, that's so nice. Very crazy, you know.
I know. I think the child within you should always be alive.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Prithvi, your favorite pastime?
I am a total Bollywood influenced person. So for me, the major pastime is watching any of the Bollywood movies, especially of the 90s kids. Being a 90s kid, it's SRK movie or any of those times, you know. That makes me feel good and relieved. Though my husband doesn't support this much. So it's that way, but otherwise I enjoy.
The hardcore SRK fan.
Yes, not a hardcore SRK fan, but there's that soft corner for those kind of actors, you know, during 90s. So I think call it Akshay Kumar or SRK or anybody, but yes, I do enjoy those movies.
Definitely.
And music is something which I always listen to.
Yes, yes. Oh, so nice of you. Prithvi, I know that you are a Konkana, so may I know that which is that one Konkani food you always crave for?
I'm not a very foodie person, but if I have to be very specific about craving for a Konkani food, I think that would anytime be Tendlya Tadasan, what you call. If you know it, it's basically tondekai, what we call in Kannada. So it's basically the fry of the tondekai with the garlic tadka, you know. That's something really nice. I think you should definitely taste it someday.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, ma'am. Okay, Prithvi, which is that one subject at school you did not like at all?
I've been good at extracurricular activities as well as in studies, so there's nothing that I've not liked. But if you ask me, what have I failed in school is being, you know, being silent. Whenever teacher used to say silence, I was the first one to distract the entire class. So I think that's where I failed. But otherwise, I think I've been quite a studious and good at all the other activities.
Okay. What is that one thing that motivates you the most?
I feel, I believe that every day that I've spent, when I look back at my 41 years of my journey, I feel proud about everything that I've done till now. So because I have led that life, the struggles were mine, the achievements were mine. So I think every day, every single second that I've led makes me proud about myself. And yes, I'm grateful to everybody who's been connected to me in a smaller way or a bigger way. I've learned a lot from each one of you. So I'm humble and grateful to each one of them.
Right, definitely.
I think you never know. I might learn something out from you also by the
Yes.
time I head out of this society, the studio.
Yes,
Ananya.
yes. Prithvi, as you are the MC, so tell us any 3 tips that you have to have in your mind all the time.
I think for a good anchoring, the 3 things that a person needs to have, or I would say a quality that you should go ahead with on the stage, is be you, be you, and just be you.
Okay.
Because I can easily say that be confident, don't be nervous, keep smiling. But I feel end of the day, pretending you to be somebody else who are actually not would make you more uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
So when you're natural, you enjoy what you do. I think that's when you give the best out of, you get the best out of you.
Yes.
So this
Definitely. These points are noted. Be you, and be you. Okay. Prithvi, definitely you on stage, you might have gone blank, right? There's no thoughts coming inside, but you have to talk a lot of, the huge crowd in front of you. So what would you do at that time?
I will share a small funny incident here.
Yeah.
There was my first corporate event actually. This was like 4.5, 5 years ago, and there was no cue card that I used to have during. You know how the initial stage goes,
Correct.
right? So I had a script written, and the event started with the cutting of the ribbon, basically the inaugural ceremony, and there was this lady in charge of the event and the father who had to do the ribbon cutting, and they ended up having a ribbon cutting, and they were on the stage right next to me, but I was so much into the script and so much blank that I didn't even realize that the ribbon cutting had already been done.
Okay.
And I went as per the script, requesting the father to go with the ribbon cutting, and then the lady in charge just looks at me and like, Prithvi, we are done with the ribbon cutting. So I think that was one phase where I went blank, and then suddenly I realized, because I was completely into the script mode.
Correct.
But after that, I think we MCs are quite lucky to have something called as a cue card, where we prepare ourselves well, and it's about it's all about that presence of mind. So
yes.
that works a lot. So I think over a period of your experience, you get to learn all those things.
Yes.
So touch wood, by God's grace, nothing has happened till now in such a way. Even if I fumble, I think it's all about your presence of mind and how you make a comeback.
Correct. Absolutely. Yes. So now here we are done with the rapid fire. One last question, Prithvi. What is that one message that you want to pass on to the viewers of News Karnataka platform through this?
So if I have to, on a personal note, if I have to give a message about the empowerment, I'm a person who believes that there is no gender discrimination that needs to be happened always. It's not only about the women empowerment, but it's about the man and women, both of them getting empowered equally, because both of them are the part of the society, right? And being more specific about empowering, I think somewhere down the line, we as a society, we lack in recognizing the people who work within the walls. That is, I'm talking especially for the homemakers here. We recognize the women who are, who have achieved something because we see them. We basically see them, that they've achieved so and so thing. The men as well, we see them that they've achieved so and so thing. But the homemakers, the housewives, the society has normalized it in such a way that men need to be the breadwinners and they need to work outside.
Yes.
It's mandatory for them. And women always have an option, you can either work at home or be out.
Yes.
So I think being a housewife has been normalized since our ancestral time.
Correct.
So I feel somewhere down the line, the homemaker job is definitely not an easy job. I'm sure even you would agree to this,
Yes.
Ananya. So I think we need to salute them first of all, because they have been the major multitaskers. There are a lot of homemakers there who have been with double degrees and very equally talented, yet they sacrifice all their talents, all their life, keeping their families on priority. And I think because of their sacrifice, the family tends to achieve whatever they are achieving today.
Correct.
So I think the homemakers need to have that respect. They need to be given that respect, what they actually deserve. So I think that is one thing which I need to emphasize on in today's talk here.
Yes.
So yeah, apart from that, I guess you need to be a good human being and serve the society in every possible way that is possible.
Awesome. That's brilliant, Prithvi. So So yeah, with this we came to an end. So thank you so much for being with us, and that was a wonderful show talking to you as well. Very energetic, super cool mom, I can say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ananya. Thank you so much, News Karnataka, for having me over. And yes, all the best to the entire team. Thank you once again.
Thank you. We wish you good luck for all your future endeavors. With this, we came to an end. Thank you so much for watching the special episode of News Karnataka, Womenia, the Woman of Impact. Like, share and subscribe the Facebook and the YouTube channels of News Kannada and News Karnataka. Thank you.